everybody. Welcome to an exciting March 20th live episode of The Ravens Flock.
There we go.
Hello.
Don't attack the of. The of didn't do anything to you.
The of killed my parents in an alley. The of cost me money on my taxes.
The of destroyed Clifton and sent me to be shitty farmland in Kansas. At least I got some good parents out of it.
Wow.
The of closed down my business. I will never tell you what my business is because it's none of your business to know my business.
By the way, do I sound louder when I do this? Can you hear me a little better now?
Yes.
You're fine.
You do need to
Okay,
tilt the
good.
camera down, though. We only see half your face.
Yeah.
But my face is ugly.
There we go.
And these
That
are
being-
crimes that the world will never forgive, Quasimodo.
That being said, senseless business aside, we are currently simulcasting on our YouTube channel and on our Twitch channel. I'm your host, Jose Casabona, also host of the Wednesday Night War. Joining us live via Zoom meeting is host of Los Amigos Play, flexing his pec muscles as we just saw, Mr.
Yes.
Angel Mendez.
Hello, everyone. It is good to stay once more in front of the camera to see you all again.
Yes, indeed. And joining me on my right is host of the Black Files and the man who puts in the man hours behind the quality, pristine 100% production of all of our content every single week, Mr. Juan Arouse.
Thank you for that, Jose. I appreciate it. You know, I keep saying that I'm bad at taking compliments, and I really am. I'm really bad at that. But I've gotten used to this hokiness that you've gotten into with the man behind the man hours bit. I'm getting used to that. I hope that I do not take it for granted any day soon.
No, it's all good.
One day we will force enough compliments down your gullet that you will have no choice but to accept them as reality.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, no.
All right, folks, if you're currently watching right now, yes, hit subscribe and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our media content. We produce all of our content weekly, every day of the week. And no matter whether you're watching from YouTube or Twitch, leave your questions or comments, and we will answer them during the duration that we are live.
Yosh.
In case if I haven't made that clear yet, folks, before we get started, I just want to thank everyone who tuned in, who joined in on the live chat Wednesday night during the latest episode of the Black Files. We appreciate all the interaction. We appreciate all the feedback from each and every single one of you.
Yep,
Always
it is much appreciated, folks. And I do want to thank everyone who joined in on the chat, everyone who came in on the panel and joined in. So that would be Sarah, Noro Taku, and Geeks 5 Ever jumping in on the video chat here to help us discuss the travesty that is Onision.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that for now.
Now, sadly,
We had a nice long episode on the archives that you can take your time to watch and see the entire spectacle. It was delightful.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, we do need to start off with something a bit pressing, something not so happy, but it has to be said. Earlier this week, I'm sure we all know this, it's come to no surprise, the tragedy that happened over in Atlanta, Georgia.
That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're sorry for starting off on a depressing note. We're really trying. It's not our intention to piss people off in this particular manner because this is not something to be taken lightly. I know that some of us like to make jokes at some dark humor and shit, myself included, but shit like this doesn't fly, man. It really just doesn't. I'm sorry.
yeah. For those of you who are unaware of the matter, an individual whose name I refuse to mention here went on a killing spree, taking the lives of approximately 8 people, 6 of them Asians, 2 of them white, who were in a massage parlor. Further investigation has shown that this massage parlor also doubled as a house of pleasure, and the particular individual was quite angry that he didn't get his happy ending. As a result, he grabbed the gun, went to town, and now 8 innocent people have lost their lives because some douchebag apparently couldn't hold it together. We here at the Ravens Flock would like to send our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of those who have been lost in this terrible event. We are truly sorry that you had to deal with such an ordeal as of today.
Absolutely. Now, Angel, you do bring up a good point. We're not going to drop his name personally because I don't want to give this guy any, what's the word? Like, I just don't want to
any
give
validation.
any validation of a name. And
No.
his name is already...
This person deserves no publicity whatsoever.
Yeah,
You're
his name is
froze,
already
Angel.
his name is already plastered all over the
Yeah,
news.
your
Also,
video
you're
froze. There we go. That's better.
There we go. Now, we're not going to mention his name, but
Sorry
was
about that.
But what was the
sound went off there for a second. We lagged a little bit. Sorry.
I would, however, in respect and in memoriam to them, I would, however, like to list the names of the 8 victims who tragically lost their lives this past week, and I would like to invite everyone who's watching tonight, or if you're watching on the replay, to join the Ravens flock in a moment of silence in honor of in honor and in memory of Sun Chung Park, Hyun Jung Grant, Sunsha Kim, Young Yu, Delana Ashley Yon, Paul Andre Mickles, Xiaojie Tan, and Dao Yo Feng. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, again, we're not going to list the name of the shooter, but we have seen news reports. But refresh my memory. What was the motivation? Because the motivation was revealed.
Well, the motivation that was put out by the news and by the freaking goddamn police authorities over here.
Exactly.
They were literally saying, "Oh, this guy just had a bad day." They were literally.
Excuse me. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, they were literally just trying to play this up as, "Oh, this person, he was a very frustrated and troubled man, so he decided to fucking go off like a lunatic." Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What kind of joke is that?
Still murder, buddy.
That is still murder. There's no reasons. There's no excuse behind it.
It's clear that this guy, he had stated before, apparently, that he had a fetish for Asian people and for Asian women in particular. And his inclinations and the fact that they wouldn't give him what he was looking for at this spa resulted in him lashing out in his sexual frustrations, which is clearly, like, you'd have to be blind to not see that this was clearly, like, psychologically fucked. It was racially motivated, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And
ironically enough, not for hatred of the race, but too much wanting of said race. Still fucked up, though.
Yeah, no, like coveting and being like, and thinking that you can own these people, these women. That sort of fucked up mentality is it is a form of like racial otherizing and fucking, what do you call it?
He's an unhinged psychopath.
Yeah, no, and fucking like mistreating people and treating them as subhuman. Like that.
Please remember, looking down on a race is almost as bad as fetishizing a race.
Pretty much. I just pulled up a news article, which is recent. This was put out today. This was put out today, hours ago, by NBC News, that more than $2 million has been raised for the sons of the woman who was killed in the Atlanta spa shooting. One of the victims. Let's see.
Which is rather, really kind to them, and that's great that these guys are trying to help the families of the victims here. And obviously, of course, like if we had any sort of fucking money ourselves, we'd be right on top of that without a problem. Like, the Ravens flock wholeheartedly endorses any sort of efforts to support the families of these victims. And if there's anyone who wishes to try and boost awareness to this sort of situation, to this form of like anti-Asian racism, Like racism in fucking general is a pain in the ass. It's not
is.
even not even just only towards Asian people, but like white people get racially profiled too. Black people get racially profiled. Hispanic people get racially profiled. I mean, look at us. Like I can't begin to fucking tell you how many times I had to deal with ignorant assholes who were in positions of power who like with like did every like basically saying without saying I'm mistreating you and I'm not giving you what you deserve because I don't like where you come from and I don't like the type of person you are racially. Like I've dealt with that shit and it's fucking stupid.
Racism on any level is absolutely stupid, and it's dated, and it just needs to go away now.
It's an ancient issue and it's stupid. It stems from our idiot reptile brains from like survival shit. But we don't before we evolved enough to realize, oh hey, we're all the same freaking species. We're all the same freaking race. The human race, for Christ's sake.
And keep in mind, this is not the first time that, this incident, which is clearly, racism against Asians, like, has happened, over, like, since the whole pandemic started. We've talked about this. There's like racists against Asians over this whole pandemic, over the
coronavirus,
over the cause of it.
Like,
there has been a bizarre anti-Asian sentiment growing within days, and unfortunately, several cases of violence against Asian people have been reported, ironically enough, committed by other minorities, which you think about it is something that should not happen in a time where now more than ever we need to stand together, but 6 feet apart. Point in case is, as usual, as it is usual of humanity, instead of working together, we immediately start looking for someone to blame and turn on to each other. In the words of Uncle Phil, when are we gonna stop doing this to one another?
That's true.
Man, we gotta listen to Uncle Phil more often.
Yep.
We do.
James Avery, he was a great man. He was an excellent actor.
Yes.
Real quick, joining us on the YouTube chat, yours truly, Billy, was asking, not staying long, sadly, but what did I miss? Right now, yours truly, Billy, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining in tonight. We started the show off by offering a moment of silence to the
Victims.
folks, to the victims of last week's shooting in Atlanta, and we're basically right now just discussing the situation and circumstances around it. We're basically talking about how like anti-Asian racism has been a growing factor in the last few years. And of course, if you have anything that you'd like to add to this on the chat, feel free. We'll go ahead and read it off.
Yeah, and it's more prevalent now because of, the pandemic, because of what we're dealing with right now. But what people don't realize, and we've talked about this before, this outbreak, it could happen anywhere around the globe. It doesn't matter where it happened. It can happen anywhere.
Alas, here we are, unfortunately, in this sad case, and innocent lives were lost because some asshole with a gun couldn't control himself. A story that sadly repeats itself more often than I care to count. Ultimately, we here at the Ravens Flock cannot do best except condemn the actions of said individual and send our sincerest condolences to the relatives of those whose lives have been regretfully lost.
We've said that.
No, for real, man. I actually wanted to bring something up. I figured this would be relevant here since she happens to be a resident of Atlanta, Georgia, and she also happens to be someone that we have had the good graces and the good fortunes of meeting in person.
Yes.
The world ambassador to cosplay herself, Yaya Han, had spoken out about this.
Ah.
Oh yeah, no, and as you can imagine, this had put her on edge in the worst way as you could probably guess.
Yep. We've got the tweet right here. Juan, go ahead and read us off, please.
She was actually shared a tweet which shared an article from Wire.com written by Jareen Tan. She states, this article includes all the thoughts I struggled to express about the Atlanta shootings, including why Ni Now has always bothered me and how I have been gaslighting myself. Thank you, Jareen Tan. In the article here, I'm gonna read the bits of the article that Yaya Han has screenshot here for us, and this will include a racial slur, so I apologize in advance, folks. All right, and I'm reading the article verbatim, and I quote from Wire.com: "The truth is, chink is one of the less insulting terms I've had yelled at me, less stinging than the gendered and solicitous ni haos or the unshakable, awful Kubrickian me love you long time." Let's be clear, in a year that saw a stratospheric spike in anti-Asian hate crimes, the majority were against women. Until this week, I'd been struggling to give gravity to what I knew deeply were important issues concerning Asian women in particular, but I kept second-guessing myself, worried I was being irrelevant, missing the point, or diverting attention away from events at hand. In my frustration, my writing devolved into ranting lists that ran the gamut of instances of microaggressions to harassment to assault to my own paranoia. I worried I sounded petty or dramatic, indulgent for taking up space when a white man murdered 6 Asian women and 2 other people because he had a bad day. I knew I had gaslighted myself. A revolting feeling of both vindication that I was not crazy and horror that my worst suspicions had been confirmed. And like I said, this is an article on Wired.com. The link is on Yaya Han's own Twitter feed here. And this is written by Jareen Tan. This is written out on Friday the 19th in regards to the in regards to the shooting. And again, I wanted to thank Yaya Han for sharing this. And you can imagine how, like, with Yaya Han herself being of Asian descent, being a very prominent figure in our world, in our community here, how this must have her on a razor's edge of confusion and just absolute distress on the situation. Real quick before I pass back to you guys, yours truly, Billy, on the chat. Just wait until you see a beat-hearted politician who will blame violent games for actions like that. I know that the timing is off.
That already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that already happened.
It
but
already has.
Go on.
And he's saying, I know that the timing of it is off, but since I missed the stream where you discussed the redesign, let me see here. I have to say this. I loved your take on the controversy. Certainly a better take than expected. All right. Yeah, that was the redesign on Lola Bunny. All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We appreciate it. And folks, if you're watching right now, if you've had any experiences where you've experienced any level of racism, racial attacks, go ahead and leave your leave your comments down below, and we'll read them off. And
yep, if you're live, and if not, then of course leave the comments down, and we'll try to respond to them later down the road.
Yeah. So, Angel, your thoughts on what Juan just read off?
Ultimately, everything that has been said is correct. It is incredibly depressing, the fact that we live in a point that, yes, people now have the right to fear for their lives. There have actually already been news reports of several Asian communities increasing their purchase of guns, which I am quite frankly agreeable with, because we have the Second Amendment for a reason. And if they wish to engage in some good old-fashioned fuck around, find out, I am 100% down for the awesome power of self-defense. Still, ultimately, it has become rather saddening and sickening that Kojima is right again. Remember what he used to say? Rights of criminals are given more priority than the rights of the victims themselves. Seeing authorities try to somehow explain or justify away this, at least I'd like to think they weren't doing it, but the way they worded it was, quite frankly, idiotic. And no matter which way you swing at it, I despise it when they do such a thing. I despise when they come on the news reports, sit down and tell me, it's okay, he was just having a bad day. No, motherfucker. But I have bad days. Bad days don't make me grab a gun and go kill people of another race just because they're not sucking my dick. I don't appreciate that no matter what color the person is, where they come from. And I don't believe in the base lifelong argument of this person is a good boy, he didn't do nothing.
No,
I don't care what color, race, or where they come from. That person has committed a crime. I am sick and tired of seeing policemen or sheriffs or politicians get on a podium, somehow try to downplay the severity of their actions and motivations, and then look at the likes of us as if we somehow are guilty of their problems. What our beloved commentator said just a moment ago, unfortunately, happened a few months before this terrible incident took place. People blaming media and forms of entertainment for the crimes of deranged individuals that clearly needed to be far away from guns and far more into the crazy house.
Which is
so ultimately,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because you've rambled, like you went on a lot, like you've been very clairvoyant. But no,
clairvoyant.
Well, let me talk.
I can see into your brain.
Criticize me later, because I'm angry. Because this is horse shit. Everything that was talked about the shooter, about the culprit, is absolute horseshit. Just to add what Angel said, no, you don't blame the media. You don't blame, video games. You don't blame anything else. And, and there is no excuse that justifies murder.
It's funny here because a friend of our friend Sarah, as in from It's Sarah Only, she shared a fucking thing about the shooter, and I'm pretty sure you'll recognize this. 3 rows on top of a silhouette of someone with a firearm. If the shooter turns out to be Hispanic, they say build the wall. If the shooter turns out to be Arab, they say ban Muslims. If the shooter turns out to be black, they say BLM are terrorists. If the shooter turns out to be white, we need to ask ourselves, how are we as a society failing these poor, troubled young men? What kind of movies, video games, and music are we making?
It's
Fuck
incredibly depressing
that.
how accurate this is.
No, fuck that, all right? It doesn't matter what race you are. Murder is still fucking murder. And this guy deserves the worst punishment that needs to be dished at.
Lock this motherfucker away right now.
One can
Like
only...
at this point, those conferences of the press to explain anything are ultimately a waste of time. Motivation matters little when there's 8 dead bodies on the middle of the street whose only crime was existing and being within the range of the gun. That's it. This guy committed the crime. He's got to do the time. I do not care for anybody on TV telling me why he did it, because at this point, does it really matter?
At this point, it is a deciding factor, and it's part of what needs to be addressed over here. But I see the angle that you're trying to get at, is that murder is murder. At this point, the motivation is irrelevant as far as you're concerned. If I'm reading you correctly, there, Angel.
That's all there is to it.
Our buddy Bunda is on the chat. Hi, Bunda. Thanks for joining in
Sup?
tonight. On the live stream in the comments, he's saying, I don't think buying more guns is the solution. We can't be the wild, wild west. Common sense gun control is the solution. Sadly, we're never going to get it. And yours truly, Billy, is over here also saying it's related to what Angel just said. A family member commented on me playing violent, quote-unquote, games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Dying Light, as if me doing that is going to make me pick an axe and slice them in half.
Ridiculous. See, I understand where he's coming from, and hey, I am all down for the importance of gun control, but ultimately, if you apply gun control, that only means that the criminals are the only ones left with guns. I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want the world to turn to the Wild West, but I understand that in these difficult times, where clearly the danger is around just by you being a different race or skin color, there should be nothing wrong with the right to defend yourself. I'm not saying walk around with a goddamn minigun. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with staying strapped. If you don't want to do it, that's on you, but I'm not going to judge on people who decide to do so for the safety of themselves or their loved ones. It's simple as that.
When it comes to that, then when you actually get into the problem and the debate of gun control, like, how do we make sure that the folks who are mentally capable enough to use to use a firearm in defense are actually the only ones who actually get it? Because this guy clearly had brain issues already. He was clearly fucked in the head. He was clearly has a racial fetish towards Asian women and shit, which is why he targeted that. He's clearly not fit for owning a firearm. So how do we keep folks like that from getting it? And the way that's done is, like Bunda said, our gun control has to be more secure. We have to have elements there where we can actually do evaluations, regular testing and stuff. Is the same way as if you're owning a car. You have to be insured for it. You have to have a test for it constantly.
You have to go through a proper background check. Yes.
Yeah, proper background check and proper training and proper education. And if you screw up,
considering my history with cars, I better never own a fucking gun.
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe you shouldn't, dude. Maybe
but
you shouldn't.
I digress.
Yeah, stick to melee weapons.
You know what? That's a good idea. We should bring back the swords.
You're probably right. Real quick on the chat, yours truly, Billy, also saying a disgusting mindset that should be erased. And Bunda also saying no common sense gun control, meaning you need to treat guns like you do cars. The same thing that I was saying over here. You have to register them, update them every couple of years. You have to take a test or to buy one, just like you having to get a driver's license. So
you need to be seen as physically and mentally fit to own a gun, and the level of responsibility that comes with having something that dangerous in your home. even if it is for your own protection, ultimately, just like owning a car, a certain level of risk is used, especially considering that, unlike a car, you're not going to use your gun almost every day. Now, are you?
No, you're not.
No, you're
and
not.
You need to
But-
be able to prove that you're able to store the gun properly. Then that you're able to be competent enough not just to freaking whip it out at anybody that you're angry about.
There should be rules to control that thing that are as careful as the ones used when you're setting up a daycare. Have you seen the amount of shit you have to go through to set up a daycare? They should
I
put
have.
about as much care as that should be getting in owning a gun. That's it.
Yeah,
You can have it. Just prove you can handle it. That's it.
Yeah, but getting back on the earlier topic on just racism in general, like just to repeat the point, and it sucks that we have to address it, that we have to talk about it even to this day, because it's still happening. And
Human nature is a gift.
It's really fucked up. It really is. And
it really is fucked up, and we shouldn't have to talk about it, but here we are. We're addressing it.
In the 21st century, we're still fucking around with racism as if we haven't fucking learned a thing. Like, I'm just over here thinking, how many more stupid tragedies like this have to happen? How many more times we're going to have the same stupid discussion and not have anything actually come of it?
Those who don't learn from their history are doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
That isn't to say we haven't made strides and changes in that matter. There's a reason slavery isn't around anymore. But unfortunately, every now and then we end up getting incidents like this, racially or fetishistically motivated cases by disturbed individuals that have nonetheless caused severe waves within the foundation of what makes this country great. The fact that we can all eventually live here regardless of race, creed, and skin color. It is unfortunate that some people just don't see it that way, and the rest of us have to deal with the consequences of their inability to compromise with living with others who are different. It's something that I wish we could fix, but free will comes with the good and the bad, unfortunately.
Which is why, just to cap this off, I'm going to basically say this. On behalf of the Ravens flock, we encourage each and every one of you that is watching right now, to just remember that we're all human beings, and just try to be kind and try to get along with one another. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is or what tongue you speak. We're all in this together, especially right now when we're still in the pandemic. And despite the fact that cases are starting to go down a little bit, I'll have to run the numbers again. And despite the fact that we now have a vaccine available, we still need each other. We're still in this together, and it's times like these, and take the pandemic out of the picture. We should be kind to one another regardless. And if you see any acts of racism that happens anywhere in your neighborhood, anywhere you go,
Or where you work,
or where you work even, then yes, call those motherfuckers out.
It has to be done. It is necessary because somebody has to step forward.
Exactly. Call them out, because that shit should not happen. It should not happen to anybody. And if you are witnessing it, then it is up to you to step up and say and do something.
We're not saying do something like go and kick somebody's ass or whatever. Of course, we're not here to.
No,
I'm saying that kick somebody's ass.
Unless it's funny.
Unless it's funny.
But the one thing that we cannot endorse, we cannot abide, is this primitive, stupid thought over here that, just because your skin color is different, that makes you, or that you're from a different region of the world, that somehow makes you less than or greater than others. It's dumb. It's archaic, and it needs to go away. Real quick on the chat, it looks like I missed a couple things from Bunda and yours truly.
Yeah,
Billy
go
here.
ahead and read them off before we move
yours
on.
truly Billy earlier said, "Shit, that's horrible. Sending my condolences to those who are affected." He also said, let's see here. My point is, me entertaining myself, especially during COVID, has nothing to do with the real world shit that we're facing. So there's that as well. And Bunda was also saying, in my opinion, slavery is still around. Look at the private prison system, which is something that I actually have a beef with as well. And yeah, that's baked into what is the 13th Amendment, the second half of it.
Yes.
Right. And yours truly, Billy, also said, and I said most because I know that some people are fed up with this mentality. No, you're right, and it really this shit needs to stop. It really does. Once I'm able to actually pull the link up, I know other folks who were trying to raise awareness towards the victim funds and towards different support networks that are out there to help dissolve like anti-Asian racism and racism as a whole. There's an online card website. I'm gonna pull up the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and when we clip this, I'll also add that link to our description there.
Absolutely, folks.
Nice.
And once that's done, if you have the means to do so, please go ahead and check it out. And if you're able to donate, go ahead and donate. Well, I mean, you don't have to chip in $100 or $50. Like if you could chip in like little bits of money, like $5 or $1.
If it's within your means.
If it's within your means, every cent counts. And if you can't donate it, then spread the word. Take the link, share it with all your all the friends and all your folks. So that being said,
it feels weird and dumb trying to come back from that, folks. But
and now on to sports.
No, it's okay. No, you know what? That's fine, because it doesn't matter how we segue it. We're going to move on to some lighter things, some happier things, because we need something good to talk about.
We really do, and like I said, we're not trying to...
Because Angel is giving me the look of, I'm ready to just leave.
Yes,
This is
I
just
have
me.
bare feet.
I'm just bleeding off the frustration of the boss kicking my ass in Neo 5 seconds ago.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry.
Okay. But no, one of the things I want to talk about, and you know what, I'm going to mention it first, is it just recently came out, the very first episode of Marvel's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep, we're going ahead and we're giving our reactions to it tonight.
This came out shortly right after, like I believe it was like the week right after the finale of WandaVision.
That would be yesterday, March 19th.
That is correct.
Yeah, bro. Shortly right after WandaVision, we get the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And yes, folks,
Surprisingly good start.
fair warning, since we're discussing it, if you haven't watched it yet,
Spoiler alert!
So if you don't want to watch, if you don't want to hear what we have to say, tune out now.
We're going to put a
That will be
spoiler
good.
warning bit thing in the description on the clip of this, but you are warned. There are spoilers. We will talk spoilerifically. And if you haven't watched, then go ahead and tune out. You can come back later. If you have, or if you want to be spoiled, then feel free to stick around because shit got fucky for Bucky, man.
Yes, indeed. Let's get into it. First of all, I like how the first episode is not a half hour long like WandaVision. It's actually a full hour. So
Yeah, nice chunky, a nice big chunk. And I would like to thank the producers of the show for deciding to go, you know what, WandaVision had a lot of plot to begin with. How about we just start with an action sequence and just get the blood pumping real good? What do you guys think of that aerial fight with Sam and the helicopters and the Kung Fu Frenchman?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You recognize him, don't you?
Batroc the Leaper
Yes.
from The Winter Soldier. Yeah, Georges St. Pierre. Super dominant.
One of the few
GSP.
people that managed to actually last more than 10 seconds against Captain Miracle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Sam had a really hard time fighting the guy. Like, he was able to keep up with Cap. I don't think, like, at the time I was thinking, no, Sam doesn't have a chance. He doesn't.
But he
To be
did.
fair, though, the other guy had dudes and guns, and Sam was trying to rescue a guy and wasn't a time limit, and his dinner was burning in the oven, and his batteries were running out, and his downloads were stuck.
So, like,
And the Steam sale was going on, and he had to get the COVID vaccine to his daughter that he just has right now.
jeez, man.
Oh, man.
So, I guess this answers the age-old question: who would win in a fight? An army, a small army of mercenaries armed with attack helicopters, high-tech weaponry, and at least one expert soldier of fortune, or one bird boy and his pet drone.
One
The
flying
bird boy
boat.
and his pet drone
The
wins.
bird boy and his Petro wins. And
Okay, so first,
Yeah.
that looked cool as hell, but here's a question. Where the hell were they getting all those helicopters for? Was Sundowner supplying the helicopters? Because I saw like 7 helicopters in that entire sequence.
that's your biggest question? You're not concerned about the kill count of Red Wing?
Oh yeah, no,
No.
his bird, his little drone fucking murks people. He's got it set
Yes.
to murk entire freaking like helicopters worth of men.
Red
It
Wing
is so
has
beautiful.
a very surprising kill count in the beginning of the episode.
Perfect. Hey, man, listen, was busy with the rescue operation. Somebody had to take out the bad guys. That's what the Red Wing, the assist is there to help. He pressed L1 because he had enough meter. Also, holy shit. Also, you know what? Props to them for actually showing a bit of accuracy to the fact that something the size of Red Wing wouldn't be able to carry something with too much of a caliber. So you notice how the missiles he shots are not meant to explode the whole helicopter. They take out specific components like the rotors to make them crash by themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They're tactical micro missiles, man.
Yeah.
Very good on that. They
That
could have
is-
made the whole fucking helicopter go off in a massive fireball, but they stuck that little bit of fantastic realism there. I appreciate the attention to detail.
That's some delicious Stark tech right there, buddy.
Yep, and all this
Yes.
was to rescue one U.S. operative by the name of I believe it's Joaquin Torres.
Yeah,
Is the
something like that.
character's name?
Yes.
Joaquin
Remember
Torres.
him; he is important. Look him up in the Marvel comic store, folks.
Oh, I know who he is. He becomes the spiritual successor of the current Falcon later down the line, if I recall.
And there it goes.
Yep.
All right. Real quick on the chat, yours truly, Billy, is letting us know I'm done with Marvel after Endgame, so go ahead. Not that I hate them, but I lost interest. That's all. No, I am stoked for only one film, Mortal Kombat. Enough said. Laughing and crying emojis.
All right, well, we've
Hope you
already
enjoyed
talked.
that one,
Totally
but
within reason.
Yes, we've
If
already
you ever get the chance to jump back into Marvel, I highly recommend you start with the series. It's a nice, good Aesop if you ever want to check it out again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's okay because that certain movies are not for everybody. So hey, that's fine. Pick your poison.
It's really it's really nice. It's tight action, and we have our introduction to the plot. Apparently, there's a faction of revolutionaries that call themselves the Flag Smashers. Who, and I did this as a little conversation with Angel. They're declaring that they are trying to build a world without borders.
Oh,
The first thing I said was, "Wow." Yet another instance of some idiot motherfuckers who misinterpret the boss's will.
Listen, for the last 5 years after they lost their families, they had nothing to do except play Metal Gear. Something had to give.
Oh God, you're not wrong.
Disney and Marvel Studios has enough money; they could afford anything, so they could afford to give Hideo Kojima a paycheck.
Can you imagine Kojima actually making a cameo appearance in this show?
That would be beautiful.
He would.
He would just
He
walk,
would.
He would walk in frame. It would focus up on him. I told you so. Just walks
That
off.
would
He'll
be-
be the new Stanley, Hideo Kojima.
So
How about
And
it?
of course, so they also have they are not just a bunch of anarchists without reason. Whoever seems to be their coast leaders appears to be a dude who has some manner of superpower, as apparently he can kick a motherfucker so hard they go flying into the next scene. And he stomped the dude so hard that he stopped being a policeman and became an actual character in the show.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, without going into the actual episode, I do want to talk about the two characters, Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Now, on the one side, Sam's current situation is that, yes, he's still dealing with, his last talk with Steve Rogers, Captain America, who passed on the shield to him, and he's still coming to terms of whether or not he should be the one to carry the mantle of Captain America. Hell, even Rhodey called him out on it when they both had their little chatter after the press conference.
He's like, hey man, why are you trying to become a main character? And Sam is like, bro, I'm not sure I can be a main character right now after all this. Like, this is a big legacy to live up to. And Rhodes is like, bro, you gotta become a main character.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know if I can. Dude, you have to be a main character. But I can't, man. I can't live up to this. Don't
Listen, man, either you become a main character or we have to deal with Sebastian Star having PTSD for the next 7 episodes. Speaking of which,
Oh God.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say, before we get to that, what I also liked from this episode is that we finally get more background on Sam Wilson. Not just him doing his missions as the Falcon, not just his struggles of dealing with the legacy of Captain America, but also family stuff.
family issues, in fact.
Oh yeah, no, it's really neat. We established that he's got a sister who's got two little boys over here who grew up during the purge, the blip, whatever they call it, and
The Purge.
it was horrible and it was tough because people are gone and shit, and now everything's coming back to normal. So folks are like,
Control
"What the hell?"
fam.
And this actually brought up one beautiful and yet tragic little problem. Being an Avenger doesn't mean you get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Or apparently, whatever paycheck you get is not big enough to help anybody besides yourself.
Yeah, apparently his sister, Sam's sister, runs a restaurant or something, or runs a boating service, and they were trying to fix up the family boat and the family business and stuff. So he goes in and tries to grease the wheels of the financial industry by showing some like Avengers love, and they're like, "That's great. Doesn't Tony Stark pay for that stuff?" No.
Nope.
He's
I
kind
like
of
how
dead.
they-
Also, you've been gone for 5 years. We don't have any life record of you. Motherfucker,
Yeah,
you
you were
kidding me?
legally dead.
I've been busy
worst
being
part is,
unalived.
Yeah, like what
The
the
worst
fuck?
part is, though, the guy makes an actual good point when he goes, listen, bro, in any other occasion, we would help you. But literally half of humanity just came back. Do you have any idea how many loans people are asking right now? Like everything is completely effed.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah,
it's like
people, not even, you may have saved the universe, but you are still not immune to life's problems, unfortunately.
I know, like them trying to deal with half the people coming back with all that, like their paperwork backed up, is just as bad as like us trying to file taxes during the pandemic.
It doesn't help that clearly he and his sister, despite the fact that they clearly love each other, have some serious emotional distance between them, given the fact that Sam went off to save the world and she was unwillingly left alone for 5 years to essentially hold herself together. It's like, it's not Sam's fault, but there's nothing you can do to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the spectrum, Bucky Barnes, and now we're going to get to that.
Now we're going to get to what's fucky with Bucky. Oh my God.
All right, Juan, go ahead and take over.
First, he fucked up a lot of people. Like, he fucked up a dude so hard that his soul went back in time and became Liu Kang for Mortal Kombat. That's how hard he killed that guy.
Ouch.
Like, you saw what he did to that Asian dude? It was so terrible, they couldn't even show it on screen. It was horrifying. It would really suck if he ended up with somehow dealing with somebody who was indirectly related to one of his victims. But that's no way that's going to happen, is it?
So Bucky's made friends with someone who's directly related to one of his victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes friends with this old Japanese dude in Brooklyn, and it's really sweet. And we were trying to figure out, why is he being nice to this guy? Maybe he's someone he knew from back when the World War II era or whatever. Maybe he was a neighbor or something, or like maybe he grew up and this Japanese dude's like a kid in the neighborhood. It's like, oh hey, you're a nice kid and whatever. It turns out he's being really nice with this old man because he killed his son back when he was all hydrified and winter soldiery. He even Hail Hydra'd when he shot his actual mark.
Yeah.
And his son was regrettably
he remembers every single person.
Which means that all the reconditioning and all the rehabbing that he did in Wakanda was for naught.
No. Oh, no. It wasn't for naught. All the reconditioning and all that helped calm his mind, and that helped him not be psychotic and winter soldiery anymore, which is great.
Yeah, well, tell that to the therapist.
No, the therapist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Go on, Angel. I know you want to go off about this real quick.
Props to therapist lady whose entire career became, hang on, I'm going to sit here and call you out on your bullshit.
The stupid thing is that Bucky tries to call her right back out on there. Like, dude, okay, you're pulling the notepad out. You're going to write down what I'm saying over here. That's passive aggressive. You know that? She's like,
and she
my
goes,
God,
yes.
shut up.
She literally just goes, yes, I'm going to, because Bucky, right now you're in a terrible state. Like, I can read you like a book and your dumbass is still trying to lie to me. And then I really like the part when she goes at the end and reveals that she was also a soldier. She was in the military. So whether he likes it or not, he really has no room to play the part of you don't understand me, because she may not have killed as many people as he did,
but she
knows what he's going through.
Yep, exactly.
It's like, bro, I play the Metal Gear collection too. You can't pull that bullshit on me.
Which is nice because they're showing over here, okay, by the way, James Buchanan Barnes, the Winter Soldier, the most infamous assassin in all the world of espionage, you helped save the world twice in a row, so we're going to go ahead and give you a pardon. However, there are rules. You have to use your Winter Soldier memories and all your records to help the government in straightening out whatever's left of Hydra.
Yes.
And he goes about this with like a 3-step program, as if you were Alcoholics Anonymous.
It kind of is.
Step number 1, I must not kill anyone.
I thought that's step number 2.
No, step number 2 is you must not hurt anyone.
No. I thought step number 2 was not killing anyone, and then he calls it out saying, why is that not step number 1?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Step 2.
That should be the most important step. And she's like, shut the fuck up and keep going.
Like, shut up. Don't try to change the subject.
And step number 3?
Like, you have to make amends with this person. And he does, so they show him doing this by, like, tracking down this politician lady that he helped get her into power by assassinating or doing shit for her while he was Winter Soldier.
Basically saying, I am not the Winter Soldier anymore.
You know, he sold her out to the authorities and got her car locked and whatever, which was fucking hilarious. And then he goes to her window, I am no longer the Winter Soldier. My name is James Bucky Barnes, and I am not in your control, and I am not a part of Hydra. Bye.
Smile.
What?
And he gives this plastic ass smile like, I'm trying to do my best. You know what? This entire episode is literally, shut up, he's doing his best.
Also, Juan,
shut up, he's trying.
Also, Juan, I know you were trying to defend like Wakanda rehab like some time ago, but I'm like, it may have helped him for a little bit, but his rehabilitation with Wakanda is just as effective as a freaking Aleve pain medicine.
Oh, that's
hey man,
strong
if
shit.
it works, it works.
Yeah, it works for hours, and then it stops working.
To be fair, though, this is not the kind of thing that simply goes away. Bucky is having some fucking troubles just living his normal life because as the last part of the psychological session really got to me because ultimately it does point out something very important. Bucky has nothing to do at this point. No family, no friends, and the guilt that is eating him alive is preventing him from connecting with Sam, who is like one of the few people that actually texts him. That one line at the end when the psychologist goes, "You are free," and he looks at her and no anger. He just sounds dead when he answers her. To do what? He doesn't sound sad or angry. He just sounds despondent. Like he's like, can someone give me an answer for this?
Well,
What
I mean,
do you
know,
give? What future do you give to a man that has no past and no present at this point?
well, Bucky, you're in New York now. Maybe you can go pay a visit to Hell's Kitchen and say hi
And
to the
he's in
Defenders.
New York. That's even fucking worse.
Look, man,
You're
I just
telling me
want my
we-
Netflix and Bucky crossover, okay?
This
It
is
ain't
even
happening.
worse. We put him in New York. You're gonna put a man that stressed out in New York? Do you have any idea what happens in New York every single? Wait, no,
I
we
do.
saw it.
Hey, come
Exactly.
on. Hey, Daredevil turned out all right.
And then he died. By the way, spoilers for Defenders.
I want you to look at personal life of Daredevil's civilian persona and tell me where in any fucking place does the word "all right" fit? Because let me tell you, it doesn't.
Luke
That's
Cage. Luke Cage turned out all right.
That's why
The
he
last
died.
time we saw Luke Cage, he got a shotgun slug to the head and he almost died.
And like we're gonna be
All right, yeah, I'm just going on rambling,
Yeah.
but go on.
and the
So-
episode ended with, of course, Sam had turned in Captain America's shield, thinking, "Oh, the Smithsonian, they're just gonna hold it in memoriam." Nope, the government took advantage of that, and they basically
guys,
said, "Hey, folks, we got a
listen.
new Captain America," and the fucking guy that shows up is U.S. agent, who's dressed almost like identical to Captain America, and everyone's made the joke of, "This is what happens when you buy your Captain America off of the Wish app."
Ah. And I think the
Also,
character's
can
name
you
is
imagine-
John Walker.
Yes, Johnny Walker. Ha.
Johnny
Can you imagine
Walker.
how insulting that has to be? You give away the shield and they tell you that you made the right choice, and 5 minutes later you find out that they basically just took the shield for you so they could give it to some douchebag that we later. By the way, this character, I'm not gonna say anything about him, but let's just say that he is everything that Steve Rogers is not. And
Yeah.
He might be.
He might
We don't
be.
know. Not in
we
this
don't know.
rendition.
But let's just say when it comes to right or wrong, that's a little
Bruh.
subjective, especially with
point in case is, imagine you being the brother that goes, you know what, let me give away the Excalibur because I am ready to take the throne of King Arthur. Understood. Hey, bro, catch. So anyway, we have a new King Arthur. Like the face that his sister was like, hell no.
Well, sadly that episode
was
ended
great.
right there. And obviously, they're going to come out with new episodes every week, so I guess we'll just tune in.
And we'll
Yes,
find out
yes,
from
yes,
there,
yes.
folks. Real quick on the chat, yours truly, Billy's got a couple things here. Number one, off-topic
Bill.
question to each of you three. In your opinion, what game had the most fun gameplay experience? I had fun playing Doom 2016. Never played Eternal, but I hope to get it one day. Secondly, he then says, speaking of Metal Gear, the first game I played was MGS4 on the PS3. Didn't understand most of the things, but the lore, character interactions, and cutscenes made it so good to enjoy. And then finally, he said Netflix's Daredevil and Punisher are so fucking awesome. Too bad they canceled them after a couple of seasons.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Angel,
Yes.
your best gameplay experience, real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, my experience so far for this, I'm going to say for this current year, because many have been the games that have come and gone. I'm going to go ahead and say Doom Eternal is right up there. However, it is only slightly beaten by Yakuza 7, which scratched that itch for a good turn-based
Isn't that one
RPG
like
I hadn't found in a long time.
Isn't that the one called Fight Like a Dragon?
Like a Dragon, yes. Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, which was so fun and so good that it genuinely supplanted Doom Eternal, because he managed to strike that beautiful balance between, this is a serious crime story, now go to the theater and fight the wacky men with goat masks.
All right. Well,
It was just the Yakuza experience.
All right. My favorite video gaming experience would have to be playing the Devil May Cry games, all of them. Yes,
Hey.
hack and slash, gunslinging. Dante trying to score women, but failing
What about
miserably. There's
DMC?
comedy, there's drama, there's action, there's blood and violence. It's everything that I want.
But what about DMC?
What are
What
you
about
talking about? Why do you
DMC?
talk such garbage in my channel?
Tristan, stop doing that. It will make your voice lose its super strength.
All right, Juancho,
No need for theatrics. For me, it's the Metal Gear Solid series over here. I started with MGS2, not knowing what the hell was going on. Then worked backwards to MGS1, and then 3, 4, and moving forward from there, the HD collection, which gave me access to Peace Walker, and MGS-V, which was given to me as a birthday present. Which to this day, I have actually completed almost all the main stories, but the side ups never ends.
God,
you still
those
get a
fucking
fist bump.
things.
And that's good.
Especially
that's good.
Especially on hard mode. Christ, fuck.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on because something else spectacular in the world of cinematics and comics has happened. And I know everyone was waiting for it, for better or worse. I am talking about it. We are talking about it. The Snyder Cut of the Justice League.
4 hours.
4 hours. 4 hours.
So does this make this the Metal
Scott
Gear
Pilgrim.
4 version
I
of
know.
DC movies that we just basically cut the director loose and just gave him all the power that he wanted, and this is what came out of it?
Now, here's the thing. Before the
Yeah.
Snyder Cut came out, we had the original Justice League movie that was released a few years ago, and without being so harsh on it, it came out as
It was
well,
nuts.
It was good.
No, it wasn't.
It was okay.
It wasn't okay.
It was decent.
It wasn't even decent.
It was passable.
That did not pass.
I'm giving it
I-
passable.
I'm giving it passable with like an afterthought of could have been better. So here's my question, because I haven't seen it yet. You guys have seen it. Does it get the pass? Does it get the could have been better attached to it, or
All
is
right,
it actually
without giving
better
out
now?
a lot of information because I know you want to see it with fresh eyes, I will say
Please.
this: despite the length of time, despite the ego stroking of Zack Snyder, which is shown in his visuals, the storyline to the Snyder Cut
Makes more sense.
Makes more sense. It's more comprehensible, especially with the motivation of the main villain, as opposed to the last Justice League theatrical cut.
All right. Along with that, I was gonna say, if you don't want me to give you any spoilers here on this, Angel, I'll try and hold my tongue. But suffice it to say,
Please.
anybody can make their story be comprehensible if you give them almost all the time in the world to explain every little piece of detail. Here's the problem that the theatrical Justice League had. Everyone likes to call it Justice League because Joss Whedon had to come in.
And cut and slice and
Like,
snip and stuff.
Here's what's up. Whedon was in an impossible, unwinnable situation. He was made to be responsible to carry out a studio mandate that he had nothing to do with by taking a story that was in its initial first draft, if you would, over 4 hours long by Snyder's by Snyder's own admission.
Right.
He had to cut it in half or have his balls cut by the studio. So and the way he had to do that is he had to rework the script, trim shit down. He had to make sacrifices in terms of the story. And what we got out of it was the mess that was the theatrical Justice League. Now, whether or not, if you want to try to blame the on-set drama that Ray Fisher and shit was going on that, you can say that and you might have a nugget of truth to go with it. Because like I said, Whedon was not here to win. I would almost theorize even, and you could probably call me a crackpot if you want, Angel. I would almost theorize that Warner Brothers had actually gone out of their way to specifically select Joss Whedon for this purpose because
I wasn't surprised.
The guy already has a record of folks not liking him or whatever, and he already had a record of being burnt out on doing superhero movies. He was done as far as he was concerned. And like I said, he already had a burgeoning record of, he's difficult to work with on cast. He's being XYZ to women or whatever. So as far as the studio to be concerned, they're like, well, he'll either do what we tell him to do and it'll come out fine, or he'll crack like an egg and he'll fall into his own problems and we can disavow him afterwards.
Wash
Either
our hands
way-
of the whole mess.
Either way, we win.
Which
Either
is
way,
bullshit because no director should ever be backed into a corner like that.
But truthfully, at this situation, we're talking 5 years after the fact. we can postulate and stipulate and capitulate about this shit until the cows come home. By the way, the cows are not coming home. They've assumed false identities. They're on the other side of the planet, living
Whoops.
on their own lives. The point is, Zack Snyder did manage to give out his cut, his version of the Justice League movie. All it took was fan outcry that had devolved into cult-like mentality, $75 million thrown at his feet by the studio, a desperate, anemic a streaming platform that was starving of content, and one prima donna Broadway boy who thought, oh, hey, maybe if I harass enough people who are executives, I might be a star. Yes, I'm still on Ray
Ironically
Fisher.
enough,
I don't want to be.
Ironically enough, all this combination of allegedly fucked up factors managed to cobble themselves together to make a foundation for a 4-hour film. It was genuinely a combination of the right things happen at the right time and the wrong things happen at the best possible time to create a combination of money, clout, and ironically enough, fan necessity. Because say what you will about how fandoms can be incredibly annoying, when they get together and they actually aim for something, they can get incredible results. Let's be honest, if it wasn't for them actually pushing for this remake, it would have never happened.
That is true. And right now, it's available on HBO Max. So, folks, if you're watching and if you want to watch the Snyder Cut for Justice League, fair warning, it is 4 hours long. Me and Juan Juan could prove it.
Like this, the one thing that I was saying
Save
about,
some time.
the one thing that I was saying about this is, as far as the story goes, yes, it's a better rendition of the exact same story from Justice League, from the theatrical version. So if you've seen the theatrical version, this is that, but with more. And I could tell you right now, I can see why the studios, I can see why Warner Brothers and DC were pissed off, because this movie at 4 hours long, there is no way in hell that it would be able to run in the movie theaters. Like, I believe one of the longest running movies of all time was Citizen fucking Kane. That was over 3 hours. There was no way anyone could match Citizen Kane in its glory. But how many piss breaks do you think you would have needed back then? And the last big two big blockbuster, yeah, people used to piss in the 1930s when Citizen Kane was around. But I'm telling you, like, as far as like blockbuster movies, like more modern, Avengers Endgame was almost 3 hours long, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End was just under 3 hours long.
Well, hang on a minute. What about Titanic in the late 90s?
That was just shy of 3 hours also. And it was like, but that had...
Fun fact, the longest film ever made is Amra Ekta Cinema Banabo de Innocence at 1,260 minutes, made and released in 2019. It's from the Ukraine. It's 21 hours!
Bro, no! I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Hell
Jesus. No. Ironically enough, for being such a long film, the synopsis is like one fucking line. It's based on love, dreams, politics, revolution, and the aftermath of the Bangladesh Liberation War.
I think Juan
That's
broke.
it.
Angel, you broke Juan. Nice going.
21 hours.
Stop saying that.
21 hours? Okay, you know fucking what? No. Do not subject me to that. No. No.
You sure? I'm downloading it right now. All right. Give me the word. I'll get this. I'll get the fucking the pirate stream and just download the whole thing.
Oh my goodness. Hang on a minute. Before we go on to the last part.
Real quick, on the chat, yours truly, Billy. Time for me to head off. Nice to stop by in the stream for once. Thank you for joining us, Billy. Is he talking about the DMC that people hated, the reboot one? Yes, I was. And that 4 hours part reminds me of Angry Joe. He's famous for that. Yeah, fucking Angry Joe. No, okay, for the record, the only other film that I could imagine is nearly as pretentious as this, and you guys can crap on me later, especially you, Jose, because I know you're still a fanboy, to Boldly Flee from the Nostalgia Critic. That was like a 3.5 hour long fucking movie all about how he's leaving,
how long that was.
And then he didn't.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I don't care for that. I just watch his reviews.
It was actually surprisingly funny, but I think I dealt with it better because I watched it in segments instead of downing the whole thing in one go like a chug of milk.
Yeah, there's
some things you're just supposed to watch in fact, didn't they recommend that you should watch the Justice League basically in pieces? Because trying to plow through 4 hours is gonna kill you.
It has 6 chapters in it.
Yeah, it does, and that's something we should have done.
But in any case,
sometimes
you know what?
you gotta take breaks, man.
Yeah.
Like people are like, "Oh, this is gonna revolutionize cinema. This is gonna be greater than all the MCU.
No,
This is
you're
gonna be
all
greater
idiots.
than Christopher Nolan. This is the godly." No,
You're all idiots.
it's not. You know what this is? This is a unique, interesting, but commercially inexcusable piece of indulgence. All right.
It is indulging, isn't it?
You want to know what'll happen? Here's what'll happen. If by some miracle they can bring back the Holy Trinity, bring back Ben Affleck, bring back Henry Cavill, bring back Gal Gadot, I know that they'll bring back
Ray Fisher.
No,
No,
he's-
they
no,
won't.
they severed ties with Ray
Okay,
Fisher. He
fuck
can
him
fuck
then.
off. They'll bring
No,
back
it's
Ezra
fine. We can
Miller.
just get another black dude. There's plenty of those.
They'll bring back Jason Momoa because people like his portrayal of Aquaman.
Yeah, like Jason Momoa is still a cool dude.
Yeah,
bro.
most definitely.
If they
Yeah.
bring all these folks back and they bring back their Martian Manhunter, you know what you can do? You can have a second Justice League movie. The one problem you can't have is that if you wanted to jive so that people can have it make sense, then what you could do is you can have it continue from elements of the theatrical and elements of the Snyder Cut. But as far as the canonicity is concerned,
Could be done.
the Snyder Cut is non-canon. It is the expanded universe. It is Star Wars Legends.
Yeah.
You know how folks were pissed off that Luke Skywalker's redhead beauty wife, Mara Jade, the lethal assassin in Emperor's Hand, got decanonized? The Snyder Cut is Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But you know what? Mandalorian and all this stuff in the sequel trilogy does leave open the possibility that, you know what? Maybe he had a girlfriend named Mara Jade. Maybe she helped him set up the training temple.
Maybe.
And maybe she died too at the hands of Kylo Ren. Who knows?
Maybe. But
Anything's
yeah,
possible.
no. This movie is nowhere near perfect, and it's not revolutionary, but it is a better version than the original theatrical cut. That much is certain.
I'm just happy with that. I did not have high expectations on this. I just wanted them to take that whatever the hell they made the last time and improve it. And if 2 hours is all it takes to improve
You are
it,
really loud.
I can deal with that.
Yeah, no, that's
Sorry.
fine. That's fine.
Your thing is really loud. Also, what's that background music there?
It's from his game.
Oh, that's the game over music from Neo. Remember, the boss killed me. My corpse is still there, like gathering Amrita.
Wow.
I'll get back to that when the show is over. But yeah, honestly, if you can just give me better than what you gave me before, I'm not complaining, because see, at this point, I'm not gonna say that I have lost hope in the DC cinematic universe. I'm just saying that whether you like it or not, even if you turn Justice League into the best goddamn thing in the world, there's always gonna be stigma attached to it because it's attached to all the other DC movies that people didn't care about.
You'll have
There's
to-
a reason that when people mention good DC movies, the only things that they can come up with is Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman. That's
All the
it. Everything
Everything
else gets either it's shit or a resounding it was okay.
Or sometimes it's in the middle, like 50% like it, 50% don't like it, like Man of Steel.
Exactly. That's the point. Either you get middle of the road, negative reception, or it was okay. But all of that baggage is going to be attached to the Justice League movie and the franchise in general, whether you like it or not. So at this point, all we can do is wait to see if the next upcoming DC films actually do a better job. Oh yeah, by the way, I took the time to watch Wonder Woman 1984. It's worse than I could have possibly imagined. Don't watch it. It's fucking terrible.
Oh boy.
See, now you're pressuring me to watch it.
Good news is
Let me put it this way.
Since we have access to HBO Max, you can watch it.
Let me put it this way. What was it? Pedro Pascal's not quite Trump impersonation is genuinely the best part of that whole movie. I'm not exaggerating. He plays the part to perfection, and it is the best part of the movie, if only because everything else feels so lackluster by comparison.
All right, but that's a table of discussion for another time, Angel. Let's go ahead and move on to fun things like video games.
Yes.
Yeah, Juan,
I did actually want to say one last thing about this.
Shoot,
over here.
fam.
Go ahead.
And
Shoot for the
like I said,
stars.
the thing that I'm pissed off about really is the cultists, the psycho fans, the folks that now that we've given them their inch, they're taking a mile, and they're now trying to get people to hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Oh my
You
god!
see, this
There's
was the
no
I have
argument that I've
not
been
seen
making.
that tag. Hang on. What?
Yeah, look it up. Restore the Snyderverse. They're basically saying, okay, Wonder Woman 3, the next Superman thing, the new Batman. Fuck all that. Cancel all that. Give it all back to Zack Snyder, bro. He deserves it all. Give him all those DC movies, bro.
Oh my
Ridiculous.
god!
And this was exactly what I was afraid of. This was exactly what I was pissed off about, because these guys don't fucking stop, and they actually wind up going against their own cause with the whole release the Snyder Cut situation, because they were basically trying to say that, oh no, we stand for letting the director have his vision. And so what? Patty Jenkins, who's the director of the Wonder Woman movies, she doesn't deserve her vision of Wonder Woman 3. Does the folks in Matt Reeves' the Batman, does he not deserve his vision with Robert Pattinson's Batman on there? Does the Black Superman production that's rumored to be coming out, that's being developed, do they not deserve a chance? So what? You just want that's just it. Those folks at the end of the day aren't fans of DC or the DC characters of the DC universe. They're fans of Zack Snyder. There's a difference. It'd be as if you were to have me. If I were their psychotic, I would be all for the stupid Star Wars rumors they were trying to say, oh, bring George Lucas back. He's back to the rescue. Destroy Kathleen Kennedy. Destroy J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of them. Just bring back George Lucas and bring the Lucas cut of the sequel trilogy.
No, yeah, I understand. I agree with the idea of giving the director more creative control. Honestly, I kind of want to see how fucking stupid they can make this. How many more 4-hour movies can we get when they can put everything they wanted there?
It's like there's no satisfying anybody, but these Zack Snyder cultists, they always find some sort of crazy, insane way of going one step further. Even when we give everyone they're given what they want,
what they fought for, what Zack Snyder really did deserve. He deserved a chance to have his version of the cut. I didn't initially believe that it existed. I just thought that he was talking out his ass.
But it's out. It's there.
It's out and it's here now, but these fucking people won't stop. You know what I feel like?
So
I'm sorry for belaboring, so we're going to move on after this.
Please.
No, it's cool. Go ahead. This is great.
Okay. The ending of the Matrix Revolutions. Agent Smith, it finally gets to plunge into Neo and absorb him and assimilate him and kill Neo. Is it over? Neo nods. I've given you the Snyder Cut. But guess what? Neo is hooked up to Deus Ex Machina, which is Zack Snyder and his fucking mentality. And all of a sudden, all the Smiths blow up. Oh, restore the Snyderverse. Fire Patty Jenkins. Destroy all these people. Ray Fisher for life. And I'm over here. No. No, it's not fair.
All right.
Now. As we know, the idiosyncrasies of a fandom are forever eternal. No matter which way you look at it, they are always going to have that tiny group of really stupid, loud extremists that want everything to be done their way.
Can you really
I'm happy
call
to
them
say that
tiny?
on my side. Yes, because I'm happy to say that in the majority of my side, I can tell one thing that could come out of this is congratulations. You got what you wanted. Now everybody else had their thing too. Besides, let's be honest, there's no way Mr. Snyder is going to take all those projects by himself. The man already looks like he's about to drop dead after he finished filming the movie. And that is fucking... Consider the following. 4 hours is what we managed to put in here. How much more footage do you think that he had to put in the cutting floor just to trim that down to a manageable 4 hours?
Oh my goodness.
How long before we get the Snyder's Cut, Director's Cut, HD Remix Edition?
Don't give them ideas, Angel. Shut up right now.
Ultimate Edition 4K featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
All right, let's move on. Please, for the love of God. For the love of any deity you guys worship, let's move on from this. Just talking about it is going to turn me into... All right, let's move on to the land
of video games.
Yes,
and speaking of deities...
Now I've sent you a link, Angel.
Felt like punching God in the face?
All right, chill for a minute, guys. Angel's microphone keeps stuttering in and out.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
That's better.
Yes, we can. Now,
okay, sorry about that. Let me check Joe's link real quick because there was something very interesting in it, actually.
Yep. What we're talking about now is going to be very cool in the world of the video games business, and we want to go ahead and discuss that.
Yes, the nominations for the Video Game Hall of Fame. Angel will take over from here.
Yeah.
That is correct. So it appears that they took a bunch of titles from the old and the new location, and they want to put them on the Roll of Fame. Now, normally I'd be happy to just go through the list, but this time I want to see your opinions on the titles that I am going to mention. You guys are going to tell me what you think and whether they should be considered worthy.
You know, at this point, let's just deal with it. How many titles?
How about
are,
now? A little better?
You're still a little bit left.
Give me a minute. Let me see if I can do
How about now?
Give me
Hang on.
1
Would this
minute,
work?
please.
Just a second. Just a second.
Sorry, this thing is more sensitive than I thought it would be.
All right, I just turned it down a couple decibels. Hopefully that helps.
Yep.
You're good.
Yes.
You don't
All
have to
right.
worry with your
All right.
So, how many titles are listed so far?
There appears to be 12 titles that have been declared possible for the International Video Game Hall of Fame, and I am going to go through all of them as soon as this stupid fucking thing actually goddamn loads properly. Excuse me for a moment.
Bear with us, folks.
Okay. So we have the finalists were chosen from thousands of nominations, and the players can vote on the Players' Choice poll that will begin on March the 18th all the way to March the 25th. So if you want to make your voice heard on that one, whether your favorite title deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, now will be a good time to let your voice be heard. So let's get to work on the titles that have been allowed for this one. So we have Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, hands down. It deserves. You know what? It deserves to be in a Hall of Fame, especially because it's one of the video games that connects everybody all over the world. Everybody who has it, they're hooked on their Switch and they're interacting with their other friends, you know, setting up their own little territories, their own little islands or whatever the heck. It's crazy. And the DLCs that are released for this game, it's freaking wild.
The turnip economy.
Yeah.
Continuing on, another game that has been nominated is none other than the original first-person military shooter, Call of Duty. Now, I may not care for the franchise, but I do feel like it deserves to be there, if only by the sheer amount of influence that it's had on the Western video game industry. What do you guys think of that?
You know what?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. It deserves to be there.
Makes sense. Please excuse me. I'm over here trying to deal with the warbling audio coming in on your end over here, Angel, so I have to constantly adjust it.
But don't let us stop.
Don't
Continue on with the
man,
next.
Please,
side.
by all means, go ahead.
Continue on that, the next candidate is Farmville. Can't say I heard of it, but it's basically a farming simulator, one of the earliest ones ever made.
Farmville. Yeah, I've never heard of it, so I can't give
I
an
have.
opinion on it. Oh,
What do you think
go
of it,
ahead.
Juan? Do you think this deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Guys, all that, like the farming simulators, all that stems from the classic Sim City games. And of course, those hold a special place in my heart.
So Juan, this is yes then.
All right,
Following
go
on that, we have, for those who enjoy the sports, the original that began EA's rise to meteoric fame, FIFA International Soccer. This is the good one, back when you were actually allowed to play games and not just pay DLC for them.
Nice. Okay.
Yay.
Hey, you know, that's cool.
And coming up next, here's one that I really do feel should be here, even though admittedly it hasn't made many waves recently, the original Guitar Hero. You guys remember Guitar Hero?
Yeah, boy, we've played the
Yeah.
original
Play that
Guitar Hero. Come
Okay,
on.
I gotta do one more adjustment over here. Give me a second.
I'll be the first to admit that rhythm games are not my thing, but the feeling of playing to the fire and the flames in Guitar Hero 3 as the credits roll and your character ascends to Valhalla, that was pretty damn cool. I can't deny that.
Roy. All right, go on. What's the next one?
The next one is the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I'll be honest, I had never played in my entire life, but I think this one basically gave birth to the simulator industry.
I actually have an acquaintance online who is a fellow concerned citizen about that idiot. No, he's gone. Who, in his spare time, does actually play around with the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and
snap.
has quite a jolly good time too.
Well, hopefully that means that she believes that the game deserves to be there, because the next one is Pole Position. You guys remember Pole Position?
I do
Pole
not.
position? No, I can't say I do.
Go
It
ahead
is
and
one of
tell
the-
us about it.
It is one of the earliest American football games. Rugby for those of the UK lands of
Rugby.
soup and clams.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was.
Wait,
it was
no,
one of the
no,
originals
don't
back
you
in the
mean
arcade days.
Hold on, don't. Is it rugby where they're tackling and shit with the ball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's rugby.
Okay, because you were saying the original football. Football is soccer internationally.
Yeah, my bad.
Go on.
Continuing on, we have the meme maker itself, Portal. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah, it deserves to be there. Come on, think about it. Think about it. The people all over the internet are all about that game. Think about the number of memes, the number of video
Yeah.
parodies that are made from Portal.
The mimetic
So essentially,
imitation
we're
of
judging these games on meme power.
Hell,
mimetic-
the song of "This Was a Triumph" will
Still Alive is
still
the-
alive will forever live in infamy.
Real quick,
Yeah, even
for the
the-
record, the physics of Portal has always been one that had been mind-boggling to me. It had been the craziest thing. I just gotta say, I remember actually getting motion sickness watching our friends play the Portal game when I was younger. The last time I'd gotten any form of motion sickness as in terms of my video gaming life was when I was a kid playing on the N64. I hadn't gotten anything since then. Do you have any idea how fucked up that is, man?
And of
It's
course,
beautiful.
It is.
And of course, we all remember and we all appreciate J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson.
But that's
Fantastic
Portal 2.
job with
That's
the man.
Portal
so.
2. Okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. But nevertheless,
No,
Portal
the sequel is still good.
But go on. Next on the list.
Continuing all of that, we have another big maker and a game that even to this day is basically responsible for the population of Korea, StarCraft, the iconic strategy military series where you have to build the additional pylons.
I've heard of StarCraft. I've never got a chance to play it, but I've heard some positive reviews on it.
Okay, let me get.
Well,
let me just,
to give it rough,
I was gonna.
give
I
it
was
the
actually
rough,
gonna-
give me
yeah,
the rough one.
I'll clue him in. Okay. Picture World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Now picture it in space.
Cool.
There you go.
Nice.
In essence, it's a strategy game where you take control of one of the factions and your job is to exploit the land around you, build structures to create your army, and eventually invade and destroy the other players and their fortifications. The game is very strategically heavy, and to this day, despite the fact that it's had a couple of sequels and expansions, the first game alone is still so popular that in certain locations in Asia, I don't know where it is, I think it's either Japan, China, or Korea, one of those three, they have actual schools and boot camps to train you into being a professional StarCraft player. And the prizes for the contests can go to thousands upon thousands of dollars. So yeah, no, I can see StarCraft making it here. It genuinely earned its place into the old ones.
Yeah.
The last two, however, are some very interesting titles because I gotta be honest with you, I haven't heard of these in decades.
All
The
right.
first one is the original Tron game.
Oh. You can't top that. I'm sorry.
The
You
grid
deny
is
its
live,
influence.
man.
Can't deny its influence. And the last one genuinely caught me by surprise. None other than where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yep,
the
you
original
folks have to
arcade
remember.
game.
Folks have to remember that Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego started as like an edutainment, like PC video game.
Yep.
Before it became a TV show and then it became a cartoon.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. It's
A
it's
TV game show and then animated series and then the other animated series, which is awesome.
It is really awesome. I never got a
Oh.
chance to finish it, but it is pretty awesome. And you know what? It deserves its place. It really does. Now, Angel.
Nice work,
as-
Gumshoes.
Now, Angel, as a video gaming enthusiast as you are, do you agree or disagree with any of these titles that are listed for nominations?
Honestly, considering their long history, I don't really have a problem with these games making it to the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't mind going there and casting my vote. I was just genuinely surprised by some of the choices that they picked because some of these admittedly have been out of the public eye for so long, it's very easy to forget they once existed. You know, going back to the roots on that. But frankly, I am fine with every single one of these titles. They haven't made new games in a long time. The influence that they had on the gaming landscape and the many copies of themselves that they spawned out of it, that is something that simply cannot be denied.
Oh, no.
It's
You know what?
impossible to deny it.
You know what? Saying it that way, you know what? I actually do agree with you. And folks, if you're watching right now, what video games do you enjoy? What video games do you believe belongs into the International Video Game Hall of Fame? Go ahead and drop them in the comments. And Angel, I say, just an idea. In the tradition of video gaming, perhaps you would like to list your very own personal top 12 video games that you think that you enjoy.
We really need to work out this-
Yeah, we have
Let's
never done a
see.
top anything in our channel. This would be a first.
All right. Let me toss my first 12 there. Please pardon me if I become redundant.
Well, no, don't do it right now. But we'll save that for like a next episode, and then we'll devote.
all right then.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did actually
I want you to actually think on all of
Oh
it.
no, I already have the list in my mind.
Okay,
Oh, really?
We'll keep it ready for next time. All right.
Like it's already here. Trust me.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that when it's available over here. I did want to bring something up, and I don't know if you guys have heard or know anything about this, but I would actually very much like to. I would like to bring something up, which is quite funny.
What is it?
Okay, so get a load of this. Well, first off, let me get back in frame over here, camera-wise, because
Yeah. Just quit shifting back and forth. Just
No.
have us in that
here,
one.
no, because that's boring.
Fine.
Okay. Now, one of the things that has sprung up over the last few years in terms of weird and cheap entertainment has been celebrity boxing, specifically YouTuber boxing. And there's actually an event that's going to be happening later this year where where I shit you not, it is an event by a group called Social Gloves, where they want to pit YouTubers against TikTokers on in separate boxing matches over here.
Okay,
So
but why?
What?
why?
For fun?
For clout, for fun, for stupidity. I don't know why.
To pass the time, because
This is
Lord
going-
knows we need to do something.
This is going to be on June 5th. Only on Live X Live, and this is being promoted, like I said, by Social Gloves. On the YouTuber side, you have YouTubers such as Tanner Fox, FaZe Jarvis, Dog, and Danny Duncan, and actually one of the more well-known YouTubers. His name is Deji. I think you might recognize that name, Angel. He fought one of the Paul brothers. I don't remember which one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, I remember him.
All right, who are the
and I kid you not,
TikTokers?
on the TikTok, guys, you have to understand, I don't know half of these boys from Adam. And I say
don't
boys
know any of
because
these boys.
90% of them look like they're still in middle school.
Oh my
and I
God.
should know because I have a child who's in middle school. These kids are so fresh, baby face, and so childlike looking. I don't know if they can knock over a water bottle. On the
So that's
team.
the reason why
Well,
everybody's
actually,
hyped for
no,
this.
except for
We all just
Deji
want to
and-
see some child abuse.
No, except for Deji and one dude over here on the TikTok site who's got a full beard on him, which he actually looks like a killer.
Yeah.
Looks like a badass. We
Go
have on Team TikTok, we have Nick Austin, Michael Lee, Nate Wyatt, Taylor Holder, and facing Deji is Vinny Hacker. And in the highlight match that they have YouTuber Austin McBroom versus TikToker Bryce Hall. Now, for the record, like I said, I don't know if this is actually real because on this stinking poster it says for entertainment purposes only. So I don't know if
Please
this is
take it
actually
with a grain
legit.
of salt.
What's up?
Please take this with a grain of salt. We are
Yeah,
nothing
just
has
take
been
it with a grain of
confirmed
salt, folks.
So-
This is not legit. We don't know if it's legit, so don't take our word for it.
Right. Now, there's one dude on TikTok, whose actual name here is, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use this as a call out
for it,
moment.
Juan.
His name is Nick. It's NICH over here, and his handle on TikTok is Nick LMFAO. No, sorry, LMAO.
Yep.
And he's basically put out that he would like to go ahead and challenge Anson Gibb, who's a YouTuber, and he would like to be in there and fight him. This kid looks like he's just fresh out of high school, and I gotta say, if you look at all these TikTokers and YouTube dudes, they look like they have a 0.19% body fat count. So they're very lean and they look very ripped, but they're also very lanky. They're also very thin. So I would say these fresh-faced 18, 19-year-old boys,
You're going to challenge him, aren't you?
I am challenging
Oh my
Nick
God.
LMAO
No.
now,
Hang on.
representing YouTube. I'm a 9-year veteran of the YouTube platform. I'm a 9-year veteran of the Ravens flock, and I am supremely old.
Hold on. Let me put the
I
brakes.
am out of shape,
Putting the brakes right now.
and I will take you on, Nick LMAO.
One.
Local
Listen.
man dedicates
Listen.
himself to performing
One.
child abuse.
I appreciate your enthusiasm.
But this is for entertainment purposes only, Jose.
Yes.
On June 5th.
And
so
if you
Nick
want
LMAO,
someone, and if you
wanna
want
take
someone,
me,
look, if you want someone to challenge him, it needs to be someone within the Ravens flock, someone who has been sort of working out, someone with actual not background in boxing, but actually has trained a little bit in boxing.
so you mean Zayana Rose?
Yes.
Well, actually, I meant me because you actually got me intrigued.
Wait, what?
That's exactly how we're doing this.
Yes.
Okay, here's
So if anyone's gonna issue a challenge, because this was right up in my alley, I am challenging you, Nick LMAO, to a celebrity boxing match.
Now, for the
I
record,
know-
and
I know
I'm
how we began
calling
with-
your ass out.
Okay, son, we need to watch out on this. We need to be careful, and you need to understand. Jose Casabona is a veteran of the backyard wrestling, as am I. Only difference is I'm the mic man. He's the body. All right, this guy will eat you.
I will,
and
eat
I
you
will
alive.
talk. And I will talk all the crap all the live long day because I can now talk Jose just like I'm doing right now. So I will tell you this: I will gladly and willingly withdraw my challenge if you answer the challenge from Jose Casabona. Joseph, show him your blackened, soulless eyes to show him you're serious. You see that?
Look upon
That's
those eyes.
serious.
Those are the eyes of a man who is ready to work in the IRS office every single day of his life.
I am super serious.
So we have finally reached the point where cloud is not enough. We're on YouTube. We used to chase the cloud, but now we need gladiatorial games.
I am 6'5". I am near 240 pounds. I have long arms that can stretch for days. And quite frankly, Adam LMAO, your arms are
Nick
too
LMAO.
Nick LMAO.
You ain't even threatening the right person.
Shut up!
Oh.
Your arms are too short to box with a god.
Whoa, really? We're gonna go there? By the way, I'm over here playing
you say that,
the TikTok over
you
here.
say that,
so you can see
Logan
him.
Paul is going to answer instead.
All right, you gotta understand and say, this is the boy you're challenging, and I'm saying boy. He is a child. You guys are over here saying that I'm being child abusive. What about this? Jose, are you willing to take this child on? Are you willing to represent YouTube? Are you willing to take down TikTok? Are you willing to take this boy on? Are you willing to take this challenge? Are you gonna represent the flock? Yes or no?
I'm not just going to take the challenge. I'm going to take him to school and knock
Jesus
him out.
Christ.
Wait, are you
And
running
steal
a
his
carpool now?
lunch money and then go to his house and bang his mom.
I'm gonna take you to school. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna take you to school. I'm gonna take you to the ropes. I'm gonna embarrass you in front of all your friends. I'm gonna steal your lunch money, and I'm gonna take your girlfriend.
Please
And
don't
then
take his girlfriend. I'm actually a fan of her work. Please don't do that, Jose.
I will leave your
Nope.
girlfriend
Nope,
as
too late.
a consolation prize and take your
Nah,
lunch money
bro.
and embarrass you in
It's-
front of your friends.
It's too late, man. It's happening. The girlfriend is getting taken. This isn't just an ass whooping. This is a beating and a cocking 2-in-1.
Dude!
You started it. I'm just extrapolating
No, I started
from
this
the
because I wanted
fucking
to go.
promo that you just caught in front of everybody right now.
I started this because I wanted to cut a promo and have fun here. And I don't know if you're being serious or not, but you know what?
Oh no, there is no more fun. It is time for violence now.
It is
I
time
think
for
it's gonna die.
violence. Now, before we go ahead and close off, that was very fun, by the way. Before we go ahead and close off, Angel, was there anything else that you wanted to discuss apart from the Hall of Fame?
Briefly on video games, the return of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne 3 featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series will be released in about a couple of months or so. So if you ever wanted to punch Code in the face, now is your chance. And once again, reminding us why it's a bad idea to keep services always online, Assassin's Creed Valhalla suffered a severe setback today due to a technical issue. The company had to make a patch, so the patch turned off the bunch of items that you needed to progress through the game.
All right.
Imagine you're playing a game. Imagine you're playing Devil May Cry and
Yep.
you get an announcement on your PlayStation saying, "Hey man, we're putting in a patch," and suddenly Dante has no weapons or styles.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy.
That is literally what happened here. But once again, a reminder why it's a bad idea to actually rely on games that are only online. On the line of better fixings, the company of Project Red actually put a patch to fix an issue on Cyberpunk 2077 that makes it so the cops literally materialize 2 feet away from you whenever you commit a crime.
Crap.
Because let's be honest, I'm not kidding. You would basically discharge your gun and they would just erupt out of the streets to shoot you. Honestly, I kind of wish they had the response time that fast in real life. But
Right.
we go.
Right. All right.
But
Well,
aside
I
from
think
that, not much else to show in the land of Bedia.
no, it's all good, man. I think that pretty much wraps up this episode here. I have nothing else to add. I think this was a pretty good edition here. Juan, go ahead and plug us away.
Thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of The Ravens Flock. We would invite you to once again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bells, which are located down here. Jose, point to the birdie. Say hello to the birdie. Hi there, birdie. And don't forget, if you're watching us on Twitch, to follow us there. Spread the word. Let your friends and your family, everyone who you love and know about, who is interested in geek culture, cosplay culture, anime conventions, and the world of nerddom at large, that the Ravens Flock is here, and we've been here since 2013, working hard to make your voice our mission. Don't forget to tune in every Thursday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the live streams of the Wednesday Night War, hosted by Jose Casabona, And very soon we will be bringing back the return of Los Amigos Play, which will also be a live stream hosted by Angel Mendez. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern for live streams of the Black Files hosted by me on our which is our uncensored interview, review, and discussion podcast. And of course, we ask you to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/The Ravens Flock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/The Ravens Flock Online, Twitch.tv/The Ravens Flock Online. And of course, as I said, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/The Ravens Flock, home of the Black Files, the Wednesday Night War, Los Amigos Play, and The Ravens Flock. And real quick, before we leave, I did also want to say, if you're watching this live, it is now a little past 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be personally following over on the live stream of our buddy, the ruler of the Popcorn Planet, Andy Signor, as he has a special edition of Nerd Wars, and they discuss the actually spoilerific discussions of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if you don't want spoilers, don't tune in. But if you want spoilers, or if you've already seen it, join me and we'll have ourselves a rousing good laugh.
Indeed, folks, and thank you very much for tuning in. This has been another exciting live March 20th edition of our flagship show, Nerds of all over the internet. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.